Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Aiman Kamil bin Aswad Restuan, and today I will be presenting my Fyp proposal entitled The Relationship Between Occupants' Socio-Economic Characteristic and Service Charges Payment Compliance in Low-Cost Stratified Residential Building. So I choose this topic because the service charge payment is one of the important issues in stratified residential buildings. Especially low-cost housing in strata buildings. Residents share common facilities such as lift corridors, lighting, drainage, security areas, and other common properties. These facilities need proper maintenance, and the main source of fund usually comes from service charge, or majority will come from service charges paid by the owner of occupants. However, when residents fail to pay service charges, the management body may face financial problems like this can affect the maintenance work, delay repairs, and reduce the quality of living in the building. So, for low-cost stratified residential building, this issue may be more serious because occupants may have different income levels, occupation, education backgrounds, and household commitments. So, the main problem of this study is that service charge no payment can affect the sustainability of strata management. Poor collection may lead to insufficient fund, poor maintenance, and dissatisfaction among residents. Because of that, I want to examine whether occupants' socio-economic characteristics have a relationship with their service charge payment compliance. So, to aim this research is to examine the relationship between occupants' socio-economic characteristic and service charge payment compliance in low-cost stratified residential building. So there are two main research questions, which is the first one is relationship between occupants' socio-economic characteristic and service charge payment compliance, and the second one is which socio-economic characteristic most influence service charge payment compliance. The objective of this study are to identify the socio-economic characteristic of occupants to examine the relationship between socio-economic characteristic and payment compliance, and to determine which socio-economic factor has the stronger influence on service charge payment compliance. So we move on to the literature review. Previous studies show that service charges are important for maintaining common property and facilities. The literature also shows that low-cost and affordable strata housing often face financial and maintenance challenge. Some studies discuss non-payment, JMB performance, resident satisfactions, maintenance issue, and debt recovery. So, based on this, I focus specifically on socio-economic characteristics such as income, education, level, occupation, household size, and home ownership status. So, for the methodology, this study will use a quantitative research approach. The main data collection method will be questionnaire survey. The target respondent will be occupants of low-cost stratified residential building. The question will include section on demographic background, socio-economic characteristic, and service charge payment behavior. So the data will be analyzed using SPSS. Descriptive analysis will be used to summarize the respondent background. Correlation analysis may be used to examine the relationship between socio-economic characteristic and service charge payment compliance. And if suitable, further analysis can be used to identify which factor has the strongest influence. So, this study is significant to several parties. For community, it can increase awareness about the importance of paying service charges. For management bodies, it can help them understand residents' payment behavior better. For developer, it may help in planning more realistic service charge structure for low-cost housing. And for the government, the findings may support better policies or programs for strata housing management. And lastly, for Academicians, this study can contribute to future research and property management and strata housing. So, we come to conclusion. This research is important because service charge payment compliance is closely connected to building maintenance. residence, comfort, and sustainability of low-cost stratified housing. By understanding the relationship between socio-economic characteristic and payment compliance, this study may help improve service charges collection and management practice in the future. So that's all from me. Thank you.